We are ready to rock and roll here on the program. And, of course, it's brought to you by Choice Mortgage Bank. We love talking about Michael Kodsey and the great people at Choice Mortgage Bank. Right now, folks, we can get you into state rates under 3.5%. So stop messing around with all those other mortgage companies. I've been telling you about Michael Kodsey now for 10 years. Okay? 10 years. Call him, 561-441-2730. Fixed mortgage rates under 3.5%. State rates under 3.5%. Call him right now, 561-441-2730. All right. We love it. We love it.
Throwing me curves over here, man.
We love it. We love it. It's a beautiful thing. Let's see. What else do we have going on? So Panthers win 5-2. They got Toronto on Sunday. Heat in action tonight, taking on the Nets, right? Dolphins, it's an interesting time now because we are coming off a season that we gain a little hope, right? Just a little bit because, I mean, what Brian Flores was able to accomplish was pretty impressive. To win 5 games with very little talent is not easy. And he was able to do that. And we watched a team that was terrible early on and got better as the season went on. And then he ended the season at 5-4. So he had a winning record in his last 9 games, which really is an amazing accomplishment when you think about it. And at the end of the season, when you take away a game from the Patriots, they desperately wanted and needed and had to have. I got to tell you something, folks. That is, I mean, as big as it gets. And it proves that, you know, he might be the right guy for the job. We need to see one more year from him and prove that this wasn't a fluke or any kind of aberration. But you got to feel better about Brian Flores. Now, his offseason already has been very interesting. Now, we are talking about a guy that, remember, he put a staff together and he wasn't happy with the offensive line coach right away, and he wasted no time and fired the guy. And now he fired the guy that he replaced that guy with, which I don't mind because that guy Googs, he wasn't very good the first go-around with the Dolphins. So I didn't need to keep him around that much longer, and it's not like the offensive line was making any kind of leaps and bounds. Now, the challenge for a young head coach that hasn't been around, that hasn't had a lot of jobs, is to try to find the right staff. And he is going to some extremes now, which people are now criticizing or questioning. And listen, you're entitled to it. Hey, why would you bring Chan Gailey out of football? He's been out of football, almost 3 to 4 seasons now. What's the deal? He's 68 years old. You bring in Austin Clark out of the University of Illinois to be your DB coach, not an NFL guy. You then bring Kirk Kuntz to be your DB's coach, and he's from Struthers High School in Ohio. Now, Belichick has a guy that he brought in years ago to help him, and he was straight out of high school too. I forgot the gentleman's name, but he's been with the organization for a long, long time. And this is one of those deals where it's odd. It's a different way of doing things at times. It's not the way that normally people do it. But that doesn't mean that it can't work. And also, we should, give Brian Flores the benefit of the doubt on this. Criticizing it, I don't think it's the right move. Why? Because Chan Gailey's been a good coordinator in this league for a long time. And just because he's been out of football the last couple of years, football hasn't changed. there's really no difference. A lot of the things that they're doing now, they've been doing it for 50 years. Are they incorporating different things? Yeah. Yeah, the running quarterback and the passing quarterback, it's becoming a little bit more dynamic. Okay, that's fine. Athletes are better now. They're better trained. They're better prepared. So now you may have that two-way athlete at quarterback that might be better than what you've seen in the past. You have Steve Young and you have Roger the Dodger and you have guys like that over the years. Now you've got a Lamar who's, a next-level freak athlete when it comes to that. Now he's not the passer that Steve Young is or Fran Tarkenton was or Roger Staubach, but we'll see if he can get there. But my point is that Chan Gailey is doing things just like every other coach that Sid Gilman was doing in the 60s. And I'm sure Kirk Kuntz, while he's a high school coach, he sees everything that goes on in college and the NFL. And as a coach, he knows exactly what's going on. And I'm sure he implements some of those things at his level. So again, this is a transition that can happen. And then college to the NFL for the Illinois coach, he's not going to be the first guy to go from college to the NFL. Gailey's not going to be the first guy to go from retired to back into the NFL. Dick Vermeil was retired for more than 3 years. Came back and won a Super Bowl with the Rams. So what's the big deal? Now, the high school guy, that's not normal. I'm sure it's not the first, but it's not normal. But what I will say is give him the benefit of the doubt, Brian Flores. Let's see, because so far he has proven to you that more often than not, because you're never going to be perfect, he's had a pretty good track record of surrounding himself with the right people, players. You're going to miss on some. You're going to make some bad decisions, and then you can make those changes. But what I do like about Brian Flores is, understand this. If Chan Gailey isn't working, he's going to go find somebody else. And if Kirk Kuntz isn't working, he's going to find somebody else. That's something that I have learned from him already in less than 1 year. He has made decisions within months and in less than a year to say, okay, this isn't working. We're not going to keep riding it. Where some coaches may do that. Some coaches may hang on to another assistant coach way too long. We've seen it. They'll stay with a certain system, a certain player, a certain whatever. This guy is not going to do that. And I like that. So let him make the changes that he wants to make. And let's see if they start to work. And if they do, then that's part of the next year we're going to find out if he can coach, right? If we see this team improve again and they're playing better and they're responsible and they're playing smart, we're all going to be pretty much convinced, okay, Brian Flores is the guy. Now we need to see his decisions. But we got to give him some time to make those decisions and see how they affect the team. But criticizing him, I think it's a little unfair at this point. Because he might be right. And only time is going to be able to tell. But, the coaching moves, you can criticize them. You can point your fingers at them. But it's not etched in stone that these are moves that are going to fail. Miami's got a really good shot at succeeding with a lot of these moves. But let's give it a chance, and we'll find out. 786-322-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. What you got there, Bill?
Just tying a bow. Dick Vermeil, you remember? He had to leave the game. They told him, if you don't get out of this, you're going to die.
Yeah, well,
from the stress.
He was crying in every game.
And our all-time coach, man, held on to a coach too long. We all know that. Don Shula holding on to Oliver Dottie back in the day.
Ooh,
yeah. When Arnsparger left, we know, from 82, we went Killer Bees and Woodstock to 2 years later, the most prolific passing game, Marino, 5,800 and 48 touchdowns, and the worst defense, number 28 at the time, in the league against San Francisco. 2-year turnaround from best to worst in defense.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
I'm just trying to point out that even the greatest, Shula, held on to a guy a little too long.
Yeah. Let's see. Ty from the Bronx says, Big O, they always hire these damn coaches with no experience. Shaking my head. They do have experience. Chan Gailey's got a ton of experience. The Illinois coach has got experience. The other one, okay, he's a high school coach. But here's the thing. He's obviously known this man for a long time. He's probably had several conversations with him. He's got to know his football IQ. And don't you think that there are several coaches at the high school level that could coach in college and the NFL, but they choose to be in high school because they like high school? But it doesn't mean that they're not smart enough to understand the game and maybe actually thrive in the game, but they don't want to be that. I'm sure that's a possibility. I'm sure there are guys at the high school level that are really, really smart coaches. Again, I'm going to give it some time. Brian has earned that right in my eyes. And, hey, man, listen, you did a really good job this year. If this is what you feel you need to improve the football team, then go for it, man. It's your job. It's your responsibility. Listen, do you think he wants to hire a bad coach, a mediocre coach? I doubt that. I doubt that very much. I doubt he wants to hire, Kirk Kuntz so he can fail and make him look bad. That's not the case, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. So that's why I would say, pump the brakes a little bit here on it, and let's give the coach the benefit of the doubt after this first season where he had a really good first season. Anyway, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the show. The other way to reach out to us is on Twitter, and that's at Big O Show. That's the other way that you can reach out to us. Sent text on Flores hirings yesterday, and you answered that Flores may not have to connections because he's been in one organization. That's fine, but a retired OC, a high school coach, and a coach from a football powerhouse, Illinois, that's pathetic. I'm sorry, brother. That's really desperate. Oh, again, we'll find out. Chan Gailey's had plenty success. Nothing wrong with a retired coach. I just gave you Dick Vermeil, and he won a Super Bowl. So it's not the first coach to come out of retirement.
I love his diversity, the fact that he's run different offenses. That shows he knows a lot more about the offensive side of the ball. The guy's able to adjust and whatnot. It's just knowledge.
Lakeisha chiming in, saying good morning. Good morning, Lakeisha. Thank you, as always.
She's always listening, man.
Always.
She's awesome.
And she says, don't forget to hit the like button. Exactly, folks. Hit the like button on the broadcast. Get it going. Get it trending.
You think she's in our corner just a little bit, man?
Lakeisha, just a tad.
Right?
Just a tad. Just a tad. She listens to us every once in a while. You're awesome, Lakeisha. Every day. We love it. It's a beautiful thing. We got a lot of things to talk about. I got a bunch of subjects here that I want to get into on the program. Oh, by the way, I just want to mention, because I read the note there, I think it was Barry Jackson's article, NBC, they dropped their sportscaster, Chris Fisher. They're down to the news guy doing some sports. I got to tell you, man, this business is so bad. And especially on the electronic side, we're approaching the newspapers. Really. I mean, when you see people like Jade Alexander get fired, and she is like one of the best in our business, great with the clients, great with the listeners, great ratings, all that stuff, and you see a company like that fire her. I see what goes on here in NBC, and Chris Fisher is an excellent reporter, man. Does a really good job. He's a good follow and does an excellent job in the sportscast. The only sportscast that they have there, it's weird. That's why I'm telling you folks, spread the word. Let's build this up, because this is going to be your sports, okay? Without politics, without corporate crap involvement, okay? That's something that you're not going to get here, because I'm not going to be involved in that anymore. I'm done. So this is the way to go now, folks. This is the way you're going to be able to get objective sports talk. Oh, and by the way, you'll get sports talk, because it's not like you're always getting sports talk anymore on some of the sports talk stations.
Oh, is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, well.
We're having a conversation about sports?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
We are.
I was just making sure, clarify that.
A lot of people don't. So they just, not that there is any wrong with, screwing around on the air. That's fun. I'm just saying. That's why this is probably growing at a faster pace than I expected. Much faster pace than I expected. Yeah, it's been pretty amazing, I got to tell you. And we appreciate all of you out there. Just like the great people at Caneswear. We love talking about Brett and all the amazing people at Caneswear, Miami Fanwear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Hey, tell them that Big O sent you, from jerseys, the shirts, the hats. And when you talk about the T-shirts, they've got over 100 different Cane shirts. So you can wear a different one for 3 straight months. They got the starters jackets. They got stuff for kids, men, women, and the babies, too, so you can start them off early. Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Marlins, Panthers, and even Inter Miami is coming. They've got the T-shirts, but the jerseys are coming. And once they're released in February, you can buy them at Caneswear. They've ordered 2,000 of those babies. I'll be getting them myself. 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Go online at caneswear.com. If you order over $99, you will get free shipping. Caneswear, Miami Fanwear, that's the spot where fans like me shop. Right here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, like we are every Friday from 9 to 11. Come on out. Join us. We'd love to meet you. Come on by and say hi. More importantly, get a great deal right here on an automobile, man. Buy or lease a vehicle, which is a beautiful thing. And if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. The other way to reach out to us is on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. You can follow us there as always. It's like a 24-hour talk show there at Big O Show. And also on Instagram, Big O Radio Show is the other way you want to get to us. Let's see what else. The Miami Kid says, Big O, this weekend we will see the real Ryan Tannehill stand up. It will be a rude awakening, but who knows? Maybe it just took him 8 years to become a quarterback. Hey, Miami Kid, listen. If Ryan Tannehill wants to convince me, this is the game I need to see him ball out. And I'm not talking about like what we saw last week where Derrick Henry carries your ass and you make 2 throws. No,
two
no,
or
no.
three catches, 2 or 3 nice passes ain't good enough.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay? I need to see a lot more from him, like making big-time plays, elevating the team, that on a consistent basis throughout the game. Not because you need 2 throws, because the rest of the team carried your ass. Okay? No. Don't want to we need a lot more than that. And I need to see you perform against a team like this right here in this kind of moment. Because I've watched it too many times. And I watched it this season. That's the thing about the Tanner killers out there. Oh, no, he's playing great now. Wait a minute. Did you watch him against Houston and New Orleans? He was just a jag. He didn't elevate them. He didn't help them win. I'm not talking about the last Houston game. I'm talking about the one 3 weeks before that they lost. And if they beat Houston or they beat New Orleans, they're locked into the playoffs. They had to back into the playoffs by beating a Houston team that wasn't starting anybody. So, show me this week. Show me. And we'll see. And those of you that have been dying for me to, I'm wrong about Ryan Tannehill. Well, then here is Tannehill's opportunity to say, stick it where the sun don't shine. You're dead wrong about me. I'm going to show you and anybody else in South Florida or anybody else part of the Dolphins nation that didn't believe in me that I can go out there and ball. I can carry a team at times. I can improve the people around me. Show me, Ryan. Show me what you never showed in Miami. Show me what you still haven't shown me in Tennessee. Okay? That's what I want to see. I want to see a guy that can really elevate people. Not a guy that on his best day, he's a facilitator. Like I said, on his best day, he's a facilitator. If that's your quarterback, you have the wrong one. So, time is here, man. Let's go. If Ryan has really crossed that threshold, he'll prove it to me and anybody else that's doubted him all these years. That's all. And I'm sure that'll piss off some of you Dolph fans out there too. Lisa Rose says, love me some Big O show here in upstate New York. Forget Bills country. There we go. Love you, Lisa. Thank you. Hope to see you also out there in Vegas to have some fun out there. Love it. Man, it's going to be fun in Vegas. God, I can't wait.
We're 2 days away from starting this whole draft experience for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like embarking on a killer party venture. We're going to be all over the place. You chiming in last night while we're in Mobile, being able to catch Steve Harris. I was thinking about it this morning. Really weird. Yesterday you were talking about Primus and the bassist and this and that.
Yep.
And Steve Harris knew, hey, my Maiden fan is not backing me. And bada bing, they got a concert in Pensacola.
Yeah, on the Monday night that we're in Mobile, that's 2 Mondays from now. Actually, Steve Harris's band, British Lion, is performing in Pensacola. Pensacola is about 45 minutes from Mobile. So I told Bill, dude, we're going to Pensacola on Monday night. Got to go see Steve Harris, man. Are you kidding me?
Steve's ears were ringing yesterday sometime around 3. Hey, Orlando's not backing the bassist, Steve Harris. I got to chime in.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll call Nico to call Steve to hook me up.
See, I love the way you think, man. I love the way you piece it together and think, man.
I doubt he could do it. I don't know. I don't want to bother him with that, man. That's kind of crazy. That is. How about this?
How about if we go to Rock and we find out if Nico's there? Go to Rock and Ribs, stop in, hey, blah blah, and then just have a casual conversation. It gets mentioned.
Speaking of music, okay, and that would be kind of weird that I would call one rock star to help me with another rock star and his appearance and all that stuff. How about this? You want weird? Ozzy Osbourne's about to take out a new album, right? Have you heard?
What was that?
Ozzy Osbourne's about to take out a new album, right?
Really? How?
Yeah. His 12th studio album. It's called Ordinary Man. 12th solo studio album, by the way. Make sure we put it that way. And he's got a collaboration with Elton John in that album. How about that?
That's pretty opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But obviously they both overlap because they kind of came out around the same time. They're both from England, Yeah, but sure, they're passive crossed.
But Ozzy and Elton John? Come on, dude. Now, here we go. Ozzy's recuperating, of course, from a serious fall in the bedroom and a severe bout of pneumonia. His vocals alongside producer Andrew Watt. He has on guitars Duff McKagan on bass, Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers on drums, Slash leads in guitar in Straight to Hell, and it's now been confirmed that Elton John's collaboration with Ozzy that Sharon Osbourne revealed earlier this week, the album title track, Ordinary Man. And they do have a cut there. We just don't want to play it, but there is a cut. If you go to planetrock.com, you can check out the cut there of Ozzy and Elton John on that song called Ordinary Man. Now, not only does he have the, listen to this, that he also has Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine on that. Rapper Post Malone. A collaboration, Ozzy and Post Malone, dude.
You know what I see here, O? This is just wanting to get in touch the other
Mainstream.
genre. The other genre, try to branch out, make a little more money.
It's called Take What You Want. Well, but that's not true because U2 collaborated with
Frank Sinatra one time back in the day.
No, with the rapper Kendrick Lamar. And he's in that song American American Sound, or I think it's called, from one of the last albums, from Innocence. I think it's from Innocence. I want to say it's that. Myron, help me out, damn it. You're a YouTube fan also.
Experience and Innocence, right?
Yes. American something, whatever. What's it called, man? American what?
I cannot believe you're stumped on a YouTube. But you know what? You got
know.
such a plethora of YouTube vat of information that sometimes they cross over and,
I forget.
It's understandable.
Sometimes I forget the most obvious things.
Yeah, but you got a lot in there, man. You're entitled. You get a pass.
Yeah, but I expect Myron to be chiming in any second now and helping me out here. Whatever, American Soul, is it? Is it American Soul? Anyway, at the beginning of that song, there's a rap that goes with it, and also at the end, that's Kendrick Lamar. So maybe it's something like that there's some kind of a rap that is, I don't know, like an aggressive rap like that. That's what I would say. So how about that? Collaboration with Post Malone and Elton John on his new album. That's amazing. It's called Take What You Want, the song with Post Malone. Ozzy says, it was a lot of fun to do, though. It's a lot different from my other albums. We recorded it quickly, which I haven't done since the first Black Sabbath album. This made it a different process, which I actually enjoyed. Ordinary Man will be available on CD Deluxe, CD Black Vinyl, and a swirl color vinyl picture disc and digital album. There you go. And I'm sure I will buy it.
Well, oh, yeah, you just got to keep the library getting bigger and bigger. But
right,
you know that there's going to be a group of heavy metal, old school, that are going to absolutely hate this because you're
Selling out?
Going into another area, and you know how they are.
Oh, you haven't even heard it.
But you
haven't even heard it. It might be all metal.
I'm talking about that group. You know who they are.
Yeah.
Elton John's on this rapper. What? You know what I'm talking about. There's going to be that group that it doesn't matter. They're not going to accept it.
Well, you have your group of people that hated when Metallica
right.
cut their hair. So, yeah, I get it. When Metallica cut their hair, they, freaked out.
I mean, I'll take it back once upon a time, everybody out there. Rush doing Signals. When Signals came out, you remember how it was, where's what? They expected YYZ and, that hard and the keyboards and more involved in the music. Hell, Van Halen, 1984, Eddie playing another one.
Yeah, people freaked out with that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they definitely freaked out with that one. And that was a complete different take on what they used to be, too. That's where that was a really odd change. But, man, it's a hell of a collaboration there for Ozzy. He's got some great musicians. Now, and Ozzy has always done a really good job of collaborating with the right people and has always had great guitarists throughout his history. So I'm the opposite. I am more interested in listening to this album because of these different collaborations. I like it. Now, obviously it'll be harder to kind of perform these. And Myron goes, yes, American Soul. Sorry, was busy, but I got it in the end. It took me a while to figure out American Soul, but yes. Thank you, Myron. I appreciate it. Thank you for having my back, as always. Always appreciate that.
And you are 100% about Ozzy. Man, if it's with Ozzy, they're an exceptional musician. That he doesn't mess around with junk.
Right.
Guy, always.
Yes.
Robert Plant. There's just some guys that standard, and if they're involved, they're upper echelon.
I'm with you there. Hey, yesterday we talked about John Beeline and his comments, and remember the story goes, after a hard practice, he was actually happy with the way his team had been playing lately, and he was unhappy with the way their effort, and they weren't playing very well. And he wanted to compliment them, and he said, hey, you guys aren't playing like thugs anymore. And he meant slugs. But he said thugs, and he didn't pick up on it. And then the players kind of were uneasy and uncomfortable with the word thugs. And obviously when you're addressing a group of black athletes and you call them thugs, that's going to have a different connotation to it. It's going to have a negative one to it. And he didn't even realize that he said it, which, by the way, makes you go into another area we talked about yesterday, is if he didn't notice it, did he not notice it because that's really how he talks away from everybody, with the people that he's super comfortable with? I don't know. Or was this a legitimate mistake that he really didn't want to say, but he did? And, well, he apologized and he said, hey, I meant to say slugs, and apparently he apologized to all of his team. And yesterday he was addressing the media on his comments. Bill, can you play John Beeline yesterday addressing the media?
We met about it today. We apologized. I apologized about it today as well. It was never intended, and I think the players understand that now. But it's something I have to learn from and just enunciate better and be just more clearer with what my intentions were. So they all know it. They understand it, but. It's something that's unfortunate that we'll get behind us without question.
Do you believe that you still have their support and complete buy-in?
There was really positive reinforcement from the guys this morning and last night, and very understanding. But it's something that certainly they understand that that shouldn't have happened.
Now, these guys haven't been around John Beeline for a long, long time, so they don't really know who he is and what he's all about. But they have been with him for several months now. We don't know what kind of moments they've had personally, but there's been a lot of talk that he hasn't adjusted well to the NBA or its players. He's 66 years old. That doesn't mean that you can't communicate and get the best out of your players at any age, because Jim Larinaga is older than him and communicates and connects with younger players than John Beeline has to. Now, college is a different monster. The players need you badly because they got to get playing time in order to get exposed. So you can hold their feet to the fire a lot more than in the pros. In the pros, they'll tell you to go F yourself. They're making more money than you. They don't care. Trade me. I'll play somewhere else. That's the attitude. And I don't know where we're going to go from here. So far, it's not a good look for Beeline because he doesn't look like a fit for the NBA at the moment. Now, he did say, hey, we got to learn from this. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll learn how to communicate better. Maybe he'll get the right players that he wants to coach. I don't know. But I will tell you this. Here's a guy that has put himself in a position that is going to be almost impossible to get out of. And every time you make a mistake, it will get magnified because of those comments, because of your lack of success. And that's the truth. And because you don't actually go out there and get it done, they're going to hold these comments against you. And players that don't play well, they're going to hold those comments against you. They're going to, even though they may not mention them, they'll pick on other things of your repertoire or work ethic or anything along those lines, and they'll use that against you, whether it's true or not. But that's where Beeline has really put himself in an almost impossible situation. And the players, when you have a guy like, they're probably on the brink of trying. Well, I shouldn't say on the brink. They're trying to trade Kevin Love. Those are the kind of guys that Beeline needs in that locker room. The younger it gets, the more difficult it becomes to manage for him. And that will be a problem. All right, what do we have here? We all know what he meant in the end, so stop twisting it, Coach. What happened there? I don't know what's going on with you guys here on the chat board. Love it. We got even our listeners going back and forth with each other on the chat board. I like that. It's going to be fun. You know what's going to be fun is when we're all out in Vegas and we're all hanging around and getting to know each other. That's going to be a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? By the way, our program is proudly brought to you by Moody S Dental, and I've been telling you now about Moody S Dental here for the last couple of months. I just got my next level Invisalign, and I got to tell you this, and I'm able to talk for 4 hours every single day with no problem. It doesn't get in the way. So for those of you out there that you're looking to straighten out your teeth and you're wondering this Invisalign stuff, does it get in the way? Is it bothersome? Is it bulky or something? No. Once you put it on and you leave it on for a couple minutes, you will get used to it right away. Eating, drinking, everything is normal. I'll tell you this, my Invisaligns, I think, for me, I think they actually protect your teeth Not so much for impact and chewing and all that other stuff, but I think even from staining, from all-day use and all that kind of stuff, it seems like it protects it, because when I take them off, because I take them off a couple times a day to, brush my teeth, it just seems like my teeth are not as dirty. That's the other positive. Not only am I straightening out my teeth, but I'm also, protecting them too in many different ways. That's why I'm telling you, Invisalign, it's brought to you, Moodius Dental, proud sponsor of our program. Go get a free consultation from the implant and Invisalign experts that are Moodius Dental. Start the year right. Straighten out that smile. I can't wait. By the time we get to the draft, I will have pretty much my teeth straightened out by then. It's going to be pretty awesome. Yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's one of those things and it bothers you, right? When you smile and you know that you're not happy with the way your teeth look, you kind of don't smile all the way. It's one of those things. And my bottom teeth were one of those things that I just was not proud of, because the middle tooth started dropping back, and then the two in front started climbing on top of it. One of those deals. And so now he's going to split it up and then push that tooth back forward again and align them. And that's what I'm going to be able to have in a couple of months, which is going to be really, really, really cool. So I suggest you call Moodius Dental, whatever you need, cavities, root canal, crown, Invisalign, implant, you name it, state-of-the-art equipment, 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231, MoodiusDental.com.
Let me have 1 second.
Go ahead.
All right.
1 second's up.
This is the Big O Show.
That was quick.
I just literally. Well, I should have said 20 seconds.
That was
15,
quick. That's a quick break right there.
Trying to get a jump on that podcast before we head out of here.
You want to laugh? Okay, so yesterday I find out that British Lion is playing in Pensacola the week we're going to the Senior Bowl, correct?
Yeah, you called me. I was nodding off. I was going to sleep. It was like 11:15, 11:20. You were all excited like a little kid.
All right, so I just want you to know how the internet works and how they track everything that you do, okay?
You get advertisements for places in Pensacola?
You think I'm joking? Look at here. Look, buy tickets here, okay? British Lion, featuring Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. There's the Pensacola date.
Fingerprints left, and they snatch them up, man.
Right, because you saw it like yesterday. So here's a website, Blabbermouth. For those of you that like music, Blabbermouth is actually a really good website. They get a lot of the stories. But look at the thing up top. You see it there? It's announcing British Lion from Steve Harris. And that is the band that I saw last night when I was searching. And because whenever I go on the road, Indy for the Combine, Senior Bowl, Mobile, New Orleans, that area, Biloxi, Tampa, St. Pete, maybe even Orlando. If it's a really good concert, maybe I'll drive over there. But I always check hey, what concerts are there that week? A lot of times there isn't one, actually. Most of the years that I've gone to when I've gone to the Senior Bowl, put it this way, 20 years, I have yet to go to a concert in the Senior Bowl week. This will be the first time.
Well, that's why when you said this concert, I go, I can't ever remember hearing of a concert in Pensacola.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. You're being,
obviously, they do.
You're
have
being
music,
really cruel to Pensacola, bro.
Well, something. You know how they are. If you've been there, they think that they're part of Alabama. Okay, they don't even consider themselves like state of Florida.
Well, anyway,
so roll tide rolled around the bowl and down the hole. Roll tide roll Pensacola.
So anyway, we've got that going on. So we're gonna go see it, and then that shows you, man. Whatever you surfing on Then they'll send you stuff to sell you what you're. It doesn't matter. You're looking at an Adidas shoe. I guarantee you'll start seeing Adidas plugs later on in the day, the next day, whatever, while you're surfing. It's crazy how they
My
can track.
Amazon chime in to Reebok's purchases. Yeah, man, I cannot get Reebok to leave me alone now.
Right, yeah. Right. Yeah. That's some funky stuff, man. They will track everything and anything that you do. That's just cruel in every way possible and creepy. Right? That's the one thing. It is absolutely creepy. Let me tell you about this. All right. One of the things that I also wanted to talk about a little bit here on the program is did you see T.O.'s comments on the Cowboys?
No, I did not. But what is he jealous that AB is getting all the attention he felt necessary to chime in some capacity?
T.O. was actually making some sense.
No.
Yep, seriously. Terrell Owens.
Wow.
Now, Terrell Owens, he sometimes says some crazy stuff, and obviously he's one of those guys that's kind of an attention whore and that. But T.O. made some comments on 97.5 or 95.7 the game in Dallas. And he goes on talking about the Dak situation, talking about the Cowboys and Jerry Jones and what they should possibly do. Owens believes that the Cowboys should sign Tom Brady. What do you think about that? He goes, they have a quarterback that's a free agent in Tom Brady, Owens said in an appearance at 95.7 the game. That's the next move. He says, Jerry hasn't extended Dak's contract. So that leads me to believe that he truly doesn't believe in Dak. If he had, then I think he would have already gotten a contract extension. Which, by the way, he's right, because he played his last year and you didn't give it to him and you can just tag him. So, and I got to tell you something. That makes a lot of sense. Are you convinced that Dak Prescott is the guy that can be the difference maker in a big game for the Cowboys? If you are, then you don't make the move. If you're not, with that offensive line, that running game, and that defense, you add Tom Brady to it, you become a legitimate contender. And with Mike McCarthy there, you've got now a proven play caller, a champion, and a guy that knows what it takes to win it all. It's interesting that, T.O. would bring that up because, most of us think that you're going to sign, obviously, Dak Prescott. But if you weren't going to sign Dak Prescott and you said, you know what, we need to take advantage of this window and we feel we'll win a title with Tom Brady this year or next year, if we sign him, then do it. It's a lot like what I was telling you about Lamar Jackson. While I'm not a big believer in the way Lamar Jackson plays football, I don't think you can do this on a long-term basis. I don't think a quarterback can live on his legs. Yeah, he makes some passes. I get it. But he's not a great passer. And I think if you somehow were able to force him to beat you with his arm, I don't think he could. But, okay. And I've told you already, my biggest concern with Lamar is that he's not going to stay healthy. Right? But the caveat is, right now you've taken the NFL by storm. And they haven't caught up to you. And they may take another year to catch up to you because they've got to get the right pieces in the division to try to take you down. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But if you go out and win the title this year because nobody can figure you out, but they figure you out next year and they limit Lamar, and what I'm telling you develops, that they're able to kind of pound the crap out of him, break him down physically, keep him in the pocket a little bit more, force him to become more of a passer, so you force him into more mistakes. All of a sudden, you make him more human. You don't care. If you won the title this year, you spent the first-round pick on him, and then from after this year on, people figure out Lamar, and he's just a guy that's an athlete running around with the ball in his hands. You don't care. It's not a failed draft pick because you won your title, and who cares what happens after that if it doesn't work out with Lamar? I hope that's not the case, but I'm just saying. Same thing here. If you let go of Dak and you were investing all this time with him, but you wanted to get Brady because you feel the Cowboys are a Brady away from a title, and you do sign Brady and you win the title in the next year or two, who cares what happens with Dak? Right? Because you got your title. That's it. Lamar, okay, they figured him out. Doesn't matter to us. We won it in 2020. That's all that matters. So if you're the Cowboys, that's something that you should think about. Because I think most of us would agree that team is ready-made for a Super Bowl run. They have enough talent to be a Super Bowl contender. If they had the right quarterback that would elevate everybody, there you go. That's the question you got to have. Does Dak elevate everybody, or is Dak just a facilitator?
How many teams have, and I do know this, 15 players that have been in the Pro Bowl? They have the most. What team has more talent than them on their roster? Maybe one, or there's a
Baltimore,
few.
maybe?
Yeah, not a lot, man.
No.
They're elite. 15, I've heard it, 15 Pro Bowlers on that roster. They have the most of any team that have made Pro Bowl appearances.
Makes sense.
You know something, sir?
2 hours done.
Yes, you have done 2 hours.
Yes, we have done 2 hours. How about that? I love it. We are headed out to Hialeah Park. We got a loaded show, too. Calvin Watkins is going to join us, Dallas Morning News writer, covering the Cowboys, of course. Speaking of the Cowboys, we'll talk to him about T.O.'s comments. 2:30, Will Carroll, the injury expert, will step in. We'll have a little fun with Will the Thrill. 3 o'clock, we're going to pick our games, our NFL games, our NFL parlays. We'll talk a little bit about the college football championship game, too. 3:30, we got a Doll fan president that is going to join us. Ryan Keeling is the Valley Fanatics in Virginia. So there you go. A new Doll fan president.
Did you see what NorCal sent?
What?
I guess this guy's been growing his beard, his hair, and refuses to cut it until the Dolphins win a Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah. I just hope that happens quickly. You know,
is he coming to Vegas? I got to ask him.
That was not stipulated. We will definitely find that out.
Got to get him on camera. Come on, bro. Hair and beard are going wild. We got to get that on camera, dude. And we got to talk to him about that. Well, what are you showing me? Oh, okay. All right, won't shave. So it's not the hair. It's just the face. But still.
Rumpelstiltskin, you know?
Yeah, no, ZZ Top, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Frank Beard, when he cut his beard, and he was the only one that did. The guy's name is Frank Beard, and he shaves his beard.
Did he? I don't think he had a beard.
Yeah,
No,
back in the day.
No, only him and Dusty.
Back in the day, they all had him.
Not even in the 80s he had a beard. He was clean shaven in the videos.
So what the? You're Frank Beard and you don't have a beard.
Right. Yes. His name is Frank Beard, but he doesn't have a beard. He's the only one without a beard. Only Dusty and Billy are the ones with the beards.
I thought that they all had beards at one point.
No. Frank never had a beard.
So he just did
Frank just has a name beard, but not a beard.
He had that mustache.
Yes. He does have the stash. Dougie Fresh says, I'm in Pensacola, and we are Floridians. So, do we have one foot in Alabama? Hell, one dude actually did air guitar for Sting. A few do not speak for everyone. Oh, if you come to Pensacola, it is on. Hey, Dougie Fresh, we're going to Pensacola. Monday night, we're going to be, let me tell you exactly where we're going to be, because I don't know the name of the place myself.
Look, the reason I said that.
I'd be lying to you.
The reason I said that, we were on our way to the 92 Sugar Bowl, and we stopped in Pensacola. And we walked in, 7-Eleven, and we're getting gas and getting drinks and all that stuff. Got a couple more hours to get to New Orleans. And basically everybody in the store, us all caned out. We're like, Alabama, Alabama, Alabama. And we're like, you guys are in the state of Florida. What do you mean you're going for Alabama?
Dougie Fresh, we are going to be on the 20th at Vinyl Music Hall. Okay? That's the name of the place. Vinyl Music Hall. That's where British Line is going to be performing. 2 South Palafox Street, Pensacola, Florida. There you go. It's a beautiful thing. I can't believe that I'm actually going to have a killer concert on Monday night.
You know what?
In Mobile.
You know what's going to be?
That's never happened. In 20 years, I never get a damn concert in that place. Ever.
To see Steve Harris.
I know.
In an intimate atmosphere.
Yep.
What? And like we were talking about last night, because of him being the name, that, he's going to be like put on another stage. It ain't going to be like being with Iron Maiden. It's going to be Steve Harris, kind of,
Right.
And so looking forward to that. Although if he doesn't do Phantom of the Opera,
Well,
I am going to be very, very disappointed.
I don't even know if they do it. You know what? I got to check out the set list. They may not do any Maiden.
Can you imagine Phantom of the Opera in that type of an environment?
But they may not do any Maiden at all. That's the thing.
Steve, during your solo, throw us a bone, man.
All right, we got a bunch of things to talk about out in Hialeah. So join us 1 to 4. We are going to wrap it up here on the program. Remember, every Friday we're here at Craig Zinn from 9 to 11, and then we're at Hialeah Park from 1 to 4. We thank Bill, as always, and John Cassio getting it done. We thank, of course, Larry Schlossberg and all the great people out here at Craig Zinn's. As always, we will thank you all for tuning in and supporting it and downloading it on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, all that good stuff, and watching us there on YouTube. We'll see you at 1 o'clock from Hialeah Park. Be good out there.